You give a lot of advice, but what aren't you good at and what do you do about it? This is a fun one. I like to think of myself as an introspective person. So there's a bunch of things that I don't think of myself as great at. I would say that in the totality of those sets of things, I've summarized them in the following statement. I think being right in post is one of the worst feelings to have. And early in my career, I found myself in that situation a lot. I found myself where 6 months later, a year later, I ended up being right, but I was right in post. We did something I knew was going to go the wrong way or was going to end up a certain way, but I didn't say something in the time early in my career, or I wasn't loud enough at some point in my career, or I wasn't forceful enough at other points. A lot of people might think that being right is vindicating, but no, I should have done something earlier. And that gnaws at me. That early in my career, I didn't do more in some very specific situations. And I don't want that to ever be the case again. So I never, ever want to be proven right in post. I want to say my thing. I want to make sure everyone understands where we're supposed to be and what I view something to be. It's still something that's maybe not natural for me, but I need to do it more, and I do it more, and I'm more forceful with it. And obviously with age and confidence and experience and wins, you get some more of that in there. But I never want that feeling again. I want to live a different life, and I want a different set of feelings. Can you explain what GitHub OCTO was? Easy. GitHub OCTO, or Office of the CTO, was an office that I built towards the end of my tenure at GitHub. Its purpose was to work on long horizon endeavors. I don't want to call them incubations, but it was basically to work on experiments. And the thinking was very simple. If you take a horizons approach to software development, Horizon 1, Horizon 2, and Horizon 3, it's pretty popular. I say a Horizon 1 should have almost 100% hit rate. We should know exactly what we're building, for whom we're building it, and which time frame, and the success uptick should be near universal. Everyone should love it and use it. Horizon 2, which is probably 18 plus months out, might have a hit rate lower than 100%, but it should be north of 80%. You should have a really good idea of what you're building and experimenting with, and you should have the customers, and you should have all this data around you. But you should be really, really good at predicting what you're building and for who you're building it and why. Now, Horizon 3, which is many years out, typically, your hit rate should fall below 20%. You should be working on hundreds of experiments. You should be working on out there type of things. And you should understand that you're probably going to fail on a lot of those, or you're going to pivot, or you're going to learn a whole bunch of weird things along the way that eventually might make it into the product, but a lot of them won't. That is what the purpose of the Office of the CTO was. It was to not have to walk into the board and say, I know that this thing that I'm working on right now is going to be a banger. It was to say, I don't know if this is going to work, but here's why we're excited to work on it. And a couple of the things that we built out of the Office of the CTO, we had obviously some really good ideas. The revamped search beta that everyone's using on GitHub right now. That was one of the first experiments that we did. And the very last thing that we experimented and then eventually incubated inside of GitHub Office of the CTO is GitHub Copilot. We had no idea where that was going to go when we started out. We had no idea what it was going to look like. We had no idea how well it was going to work. We had all these no ideas. But that was the purpose of it being inside of the Office of the CTO, is we can get 4 people together, 6 people total, working on this thing for 6 months, experimenting with it, getting it to the point where we say, there is absolutely something here. We need more folks to go work on this, and we need more time and money. The point of Octo was not to say we know, it was to say we don't know, but we're going to go figure this shit out.